All right, welcome to June 2019. Pat Ferrier over at the Colorado one recently published this article. Northern Colorado may not be on the verge of a housing crisis, experts say. So why would Pat write this article? Well, Pat called and asked me to read cities on the verge of a housing crisis, and believe it or not, Fort Collins is on this list. And so she said, hey, will you please read this article and tell me what you think of it? And so I walked through the article and responded to Pat, and you can read that in her article. And so I thought I'd say, my team and I, we get this question all the time. Hey, when's the next crisis coming? We're gonna wait to buy in 3 years when the next housing market dip happens or. And so two things pop into my head about that. One, the dip that we did have, the recession that we did have, it was drastic and there were a lot of foreclosures. But in our marketplace, the home market didn't actually sag. We almost went flat, so we didn't have appreciation, but we didn't really have depreciation. So there weren't amazing deals in Fort Collins you could just run around and snatch up. The market definitely flattened, but we didn't sag. So if we have another national economic crisis and it's just as bad and we fare exactly like we did last time, we're not really going to have less expensive housing. We might have flat housing. That's my take on the past. And then when I look at what's currently going on, I see things like where rich millennials are moving, and I see Colorado's here as number 4. And so the millennials are, average age of a millennial right now is 29, and for rich, they said $100,000 of income. So 29-year-olds with $100,000 of income are leaving states here and here, and they're moving here. So we're having a net influx of people with high incomes and are in their kind of family forming stage of life, and so that puts a lot of pressure on our housing market. So I don't think that we're just going to have some surplus of super affordable housing coming up. I think we're going to continue to draw people into our community, our wonderful community, that want to live here and are willing to bring their incomes with them. So that's one piece. Well, let me go to this data. In 2008, 72% of the homes in Fort Collins were financed with cash or a conventional loan. 72%, 2008. 88% of homes are financed with cash or conventional financing in 2018. So that's May 2008, May 2018. That's a large number of homes being purchased with a conventional loan or cash outright. And so that tells me that people are investing in this community. People are bringing their wealth here and buying the homes here, and they see them as valuable. It's pretty difficult for those houses to get upside down, right? It's difficult for people to owe more than the house is worth when people came in with so much cash. So those are kind of the market stats that pop up. And then if we look at methodology real quick, this Forbes article, which doesn't have Fort Collins on the list of places about to be in a housing crisis, talks about things more like the percentage of homes with negative equity, a delinquency rate, foreclosure rate, homeownership and rental vacancy rates. And so when we have that kind of a data set and we analyze Fort Collins, we don't see that it has any risk factors on this list. I'm a little more comfortable with this data set. So anyway, this conversation can go on, and it has so many components to it. To us, on our team, we need the data. We need to have our data. We need to know what's local. We love leaning on people like Pat. She's been in this community forever, reporting on housing for a decade plus. I should probably know that, but I don't. But Pat's been a reliable source of housing information here in Fort Collins for a long time. And so it's nice to have that asset in our community, to take an article from someone on the East Coast talking about a housing crisis here and bring some context to it for us. So we have that, we have our data set, and then we have you, right? We need to know, what do you want? What are you looking for? What's your goal? How do we help you achieve your goal in this market or in any market? And if you want to continue having the conversation about is a bubble imminent, is Fort Collins in trouble? It may be. I doubt it seriously, but we can have that conversation and we can look at the data together and kind of frame where you're coming from and your decision points. Is it time for you to buy? Is it time for you to sell? Is it time for you to invest? Where are you at and what do you want to do? And so you can either call us, always, we're available by phone. You can shoot us over a Facebook message, that's totally fine. I think Christine's going to put a report right here for you guys if you'd rather just pick up a housing report and see what's selling. Thanks for watching.